so ladies and gentlemen, we want to talk to the security forces them. Saying, we want to listen to that Virginia. This man is a police, obviously, ladies and gentlemen. And him have a word to the police them. Saying, on the list.
Hope you all doing well, and hope everybody doing fine. Taking care of yourself in the heat, hope you're hydrating and everything. Alright, so what I want to talk about, recently I overheard a conversation between two individuals, and after hearing that conversation, I felt behooved somewhat to start a discussion, a conversation rather, regarding certain views us as law enforcement officers have, and those two elements really, compassion and authority. I mean, how do we view compassion and authority? As law enforcement officers, do we see them on opposite end of the spectrum really, or do we utilize them in tandem? You understand, when we're operating? Now, there's basically the narrative surrounding police responsibilities is basically become a cliche somewhat. But we all know that the fundamental responsibility of law enforcement officers is really to protect communities, you understand, maintain public order, and enforce the law. But we also have a responsibility to remember that behind every situation that we encounter, you understand, in our capacity as law enforcement officers, there is a person behind it. Right? Now, being compassionate really and truly, it doesn't compromise our authority. You understand? What it does is to allow us to use that authority with a level of understanding, a level of fairness and respect. Right? And oftentimes, I share my colleagues that I remind my colleagues that listen, we are guardians of human rights and dignity. So in reality, when we're enforcing the laws as law enforcement officers, that we can basically, we can be firm. You understand? We can be so firm. You understand? Without being disrespectful to people. You understand? We can enforce the law rigorously. You understand? While still listening to those that we are encountering, right? So at the end of the day, I mean, those who are to be held accountable, we can still hold them accountable, and at the same time treat them with some level of dignity. You understand what I say? So this authority that we are given, you understand? Yes, it allows us, or it empowers us to act. But one of the things I want to share, peeps, is that compassion now, basically, you understand, guide us as how we're supposed to exercise that authority. You understand? Our goal as law enforcement officer isn't just to enforce the law, but to treat persons with respect. You understand? And that level of dignity that when after the encounter, regardless of what happened, that individual may say that they were treated fairly. You understand? They were treated with respect. So I'm just encouraging us. Wearing the uniform really and truly is not an open checkbook, for us to impose our will on people still. You see me? We are basically servants of the people, and just be compassionate. You understand? You can still be an effective police officer and exercise compassion. You understand? Compassion and the authority doesn't have to be on the opposite end of the spectrum, or the law enforcement spectrum. It is something, they are important tools that we can use together. You understand? That will make us effective police officers, and at the same time it helps to foster trust among the people that we serve. Because listen, you understand, without the approval of the public, we as police officers cannot be effective. You understand? So to my law enforcement brothers and sisters, doesn't matter where you are, the jurisdiction that you operate in, just always remember compassion. You understand? Compassion. Use compassion to cushion that authority. Alright? Peace. Bless up.
I want to say big up to that police officer, Mr. Nixon Lewis. We just randomly come across him video, and it line up with what we want to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen. Want to remember that video? Security forces listen up. The prophecy. This was in January, I believe. We download it. Make sure I always have it on my computer. I want to listen to this, ladies and gentlemen, and then we have to go to the present warning. See?
And so I'm speaking to members of the security forces. We're about to step into that realm, and it's going to happen suddenly. We are not far from it. It can happen any moment now. And when it happens, no one will be safe. You hear what I just said? I'm not giving security advice. I'm speaking as the Lord is showing. No one will be safe because the enemy will be within. The enemy is there already. But they know what the Lord is saying. And as we have been praying, we are seeing it coming up and we are just sharing with you. So they have now been able to master and manage the system so that they can master their activities. So you are there plotting as to how to deal with operatives on the outside, not realizing that some of the very same persons who are planning, you are planning with, they are knowing the plan and they will know how to intercept, intervene, and manipulate. So there will be incidents of innocent lives being lost, meaning members of the security forces, persons who decide that we will not comply, we will not be a part of it. That's where we're about to enter. The word of advice, members of the security forces who are born again believers, you need to observe a season of fasting and prayer. Cry out to the Lord so that He can shut down the plots and plans of the enemy, so that He can expose these wolves in sheep clothing, because no law-abiding officer or security personnel who decide to stand for what is right would be safe. I'm giving a prophetic word as the Lord has showed. It's coming out of prayer, and we are making it clear for all to hear. Members of the public, we need to intensify our prayers for the security forces, because the forces of darkness are determined to advance their agenda. And anyone who tries to stand in their way, they will try to remove them. We need to pray for members of the security forces, pray for the JCF, pray for the JDF. Very important. And this is an appeal to members of the security forces who are born-again believers. You need to come together, identify other born-again believers, and you need to be praying deliberately about what was just released. The very same technology that we are singing and waxing praises, the enemy has mastered it from within and will be leveraging it to advance their agenda from within.
So that is the prophecy for the security forces, right? Current warning, ladies and gentlemen, listen to this.
The JCF, there is more to come. Secondly, read another bizarre incident with the JCF. There is more to come. And prophetically, the Lord would have spoken and we have echoed what He has said. And the JCF should brace itself for more. Born-again believers in the JCF should be crying out to the Lord for mercy, because there's more to come, until and unless they change course. The water situation, the warning, the writing has been on the wall for a long time. One of the things that I'm encouraging those of us who have been praying, fasting and praying to do is that we need to pray that God will allow a few weather systems, and we are seeing a few of them there and thereabouts in the Caribbean, and they have been, one or two have been influencing the weather conditions over the island, that we should pray for greater precipitation. Enough precipitation to replenish our wells, reservoirs, rivers, aquifers, streams, tributaries, to water our farms or lawns, etc. Yes. Too much wickedness. Secondly, read the damage. Secondly, read another who have been influencing the weather conditions over the island that we should pray for greater precipitation. Enough precipitation to replenish our wells, reservoirs, rivers, aquifers, streams, tributaries, to water our farms or lawns, etc. Yes, and to replenish our catchment area. So we have to pray for mercy in that regard. Also remember, Jamaica is presently experiencing judgment in the form of hard labor. We have been sentenced to hard labor because of the disobedience and the wretchedness of the people of this nation. We have to pray like we've never prayed before. Secondly, read another bizarre incident with the JCF. There is more to come.
I don't know which bizarre incident you're referring to. Me, I wonder if the car will run off of the road, the service vehicle will run off of the road and turn over, and the police then get injured. Ladies and gentlemen, if the first video I'm play here, one, the police them, so they need to pray. Especially the one them I believe in a God, they need to pray and fast and ask protection. There is going to be some sort of, and it's not just say the Lord, there's going to be some sort of line drawn. So if you're not a part of the corruption, nobody now gonna see you. Nobody now gonna see you.
And prophetically, the Lord would have spoken, and we have echoed what he has said, and the JCF should brace itself for more. Born again believers in the JCF should be crying out to the Lord for mercy, because there's more to come, until and unless they change course. The water situation, the war.
So the course that the JCF is on is unaliving innocent Jamaican people. That are the course of them. As something where the man of God warned about and said, there has to be a better way. There's a video where he said there has to be a better way. You can't tell me say this is the only way to fight crime. There has to be a better way. But, you know, the Andrew honestly, the administration would want you to believe that there's no other way. But I one thing more I tell Andrew. God now sleep.
In politics in Jamaica and also in other spheres of life, but much of it is coming from there, where the people are being manipulated and they are being misused, used as pawns. And after you use the people, you want to throw them away. But let me say this again. God is not asleep. God is not asleep. And whatever we sow, we shall reap. All of these are examples of judgment. The nation is being judged. People are being judged. Leaders are being judged and will be judged. And it will intensify in different ways. The island of Jamaica needs to repent. So this 62-foot monument, if you ask me, that's a waste. Right? Right? It's a waste. Look at how many of our children are suffering. Look at how many of our people are suffering. Look at how many of the people who were affected. Listen, I can't tell you, sir, what to do with your money, but take my foolish advice. That's a waste of money. That's a royal waste of money. What kind of monument you need if you commemorate one of the most destructive, category 5 hurricane? Destroy so many homes and lives. Even there are some bodies, when I went into a particular community a couple months ago, they are still not sure whether or not those persons are alive. Up to today. Not sure. You're going to build monument for what? When there are so many out there who are still struggling, living on the tarpaulin, you're going to go build.
Listen, they are celebrating the death of the people and the disaster by building a monument. They are building an idol. ladies and gentlemen. That's what they're doing. That's what that represents. So you rather spend money, millions of dollars, obviously, because if one sign in a mobile, we say welcome to mobile cost how much millions of dollars? A 62-foot monument. Do you know how much money that's going to cost? Just try and do the multiplication, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the cost of material. Cement, sand, steel. A 62-foot monument. At first, man, you go tell me this, you know. A 62-foot monument?
62-foot monument. How much money is that going to cost? How many people are going to benefit from that? Tourists coming here, heritage tourism? Huh? What are you talking about? Where are your priorities? And I'm talking to people like those. I know you might be upset with me, but that's fine. Monument? Huh? Monument, Kanyam?
I really want to know who is building a monument. Let me try to find out.
Monument? The people can live in monument? How much money will that cost? Why not say, okay, look at the number of schools that need to be repaired. That, okay, as a monument, I'm going to repair 2 schools, even the early childhood schools. And I say even, meaning not to put them down because, of course, you know, they are the feet, they are the foundation. And I say even because it would be cheaper than, say, a primary or a high school. There are a number of schools. I mean, I was at conference yesterday, the opening, and it is sad the number of schools that are still.
Oh, Christopher Issa, one of the Issa them. Mighty God, it says Jamaican businessman and S-Hotel CEO Christopher Issa has commissioned the massive 62-foot monument, which is being sculpted by renowned Jamaica artist Sheet Cole in Montego Bay. Wow. Wow. A 62-foot monument. So one businessman I read. I hear money still, but wow. What are you into? What are you a part of? An idol, a monument? You know how much, you know that the money they could have spent for really help the Jamaican people there, but a monument. I guess the monument somehow depend. Hey man, listen. Hey, you know what come to my mind? The altar then. Where Mark Stewart talk. A 62-foot monument to commemorate Hurricane Melissa that devastated the people them life will still not recover. Millions of dollars to go into that. Wow. Wow. That's crazy.
Not repaired. So this person who is talking about this 62, I know you're going to be upset, sir, and your friends, but that's fine. You say, I couldn't care less. I mean, I have to talk the truth. Why not use that money and repair some of the schools? Huh? Talk about you're going to make 62 foot. Listen, you are free to do what you want to do, but I am thinking that if you really have the best interest of this nation, invest in the children. Invest in the children. Invest in the children. There's too much wickedness in politics in Jamaica and also in other spheres of life.
See here, ladies and gentlemen, you be the judge. You be the judge. I think this is an altar. I think this has something to do with witchcraft. You be the judge. But just have to say, them are going to examine the business Jamaica. I am going to say, I believe this is an altar. Yeah, man. That's what I believe. A 62-foot monument. See the article here? S Hotel celebrates Jamaica resilience with new sculpture. Celebrate the people and resilience. Mighty God, by building a sculpture, not a school, not repairing the school with the money. Wow. I am actually stunned, ladies and gentlemen. What the first thing that came to my spirit was this is an altar. That's the first thing came to my spirit. This is an evil altar being put up for wealth gain. See the Jamaica? A 62-foot monument. Wow. Boy, I tell you, boy. Boy, I tell you. I'm not, listen, that's what came to my spirit. I could be wrong. I'm waiting on confirmation from one of the men of God and women of God. I believe that this, only Mumi can come as a look upon this. Mumi can look upon this. Come here fast. Come here now. Just stand up right there. Stand up right there. So do not have that camera. What does this look like here?
The whole of that?
Yes, this is a monument for the resilience, celebrating the resilience of the. Thank you very much. Look at it, look here. Look at it. Look at it. When I heard about a monument and then we come look, we said this is an altar. Look at that.
That look horrible.
We celebrate Hurricane Melissa. One at S Hotel, you know. S Hotel. One at Issa them. One at the Issa. I mean, one at the Issa them. I said the first thing come to my mind, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, send me the message, Paul. Stop there. I'm sending the article. Send me the message, Paul. Send me a message now. I'm sending the article. The link to the article. I believe that this is an altar, ladies and gentlemen. Altar for prosperity gain. That's my belief. I could be wrong. That's the first thing. When we see it, remember Mark Stewart, when Mark Stewart said, the altar they were set up all over the country. Joseph, what's going on? I believe that is one of the evil altars. That's my belief. That's my belief. Mighty God. Christopher Issa, businessman. Flick on the light there when I pass. People don't make me know what to think in the comment section here, man, because Jamaica get weirder and weirder. Somebody say altar to suppress the people of Jamaica. Mighty God. As God said, definitely an altar. I share that belief. All me know if a man to go be this day. All me know if a man to go be this day. Man to go be ripe to judgment specifically. When the earthquake come. Man to go be one of the places that according to the prophetic word will be targeted through judgment. Too much altar set down there, too much witchcraft. Too much. So you see, S Hotel, a man to go be, and S Hotel build this, so look like one altar. Only no surprise if down they get destroyed here when the earthquake and tsunami come. Sharon, how you doing? She said, yes, it's in Mobile. Well, there you go. People, who don't like, share, and subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comment section.